Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good afternoon, buenos días, buenas tardes, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. How are you? Where are you? Hello, Mary. Hello, Irish. Hello, Ellen. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Anne Marie. Leela. Hello, Isabel. Oh, I love it when I see familiar names and see familiar faces here, keeping us company rather. During this beautiful, very auspicious time. Hello, Sunjin, over in Facebook land. Some of us are in YouTube land. Some of us are in the Academy land. Some of us are in Facebook land. I'm actually on something called StreamYard. It's actually the name of the app that I'm using to be able to broadcast simultaneously to both YouTube and Facebook. So I'm in StreamYard. It's actually a really cool app for any of you who are thinking about doing this type of live broadcast in the future, because you can not only broadcast to different platforms at the same time, but you can also consolidate all your messages in one place. So I get to see Facebook messages and YouTube messages at the same time. It's actually really cool. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Maybe I should ask them if I can sponsor them. But I just want to say that I really like their platform. I just seen Mary's message right now. You got your haircut. Yes, I did. I stuck my head inside a pencil sharpener. It's so hot here. I sure needed to get a trim. I don't know what is it like where you guys are at. I know South Africa is moving towards winter, right, Amanda? You guys are moving towards your winter time, but we're moving here towards our summer, and it's been quite hot this past few days. Really hot. This morning we had a mixture of a bit of a storm, windstorm with cool air, but then it got really hot again. Yeah, so welcome. It's great to have you here. Before we dive into today's topic, which is on heart virtue number 10 on truth, and we explore what truth is and what truth is not, there's a few announcements I'd like to make. The first announcement, hello, Monica. Welcome. She's over in Facebook land. No, you're in YouTube land. Sorry, it's Sanjin who's in Facebook land. The first announcement that I wanted to make is that next week, June 22nd, we'll be starting the next cohort of the Heart Warrior training program. Isabel, Monica, Ellen, some of you guys are in the current cohort right now, which is cohort number 2, actually here, listening live, participating today. So thank you for being here. So this is a 3-month group coaching program where we get to explore the depth of what heart intelligence is, how to connect, attune, and energize our hearts, and then use this new level of awareness to be able to hold our own light, bring light, compassion, love to those dark aspects of ourselves or other people, normally called shadows, so that we can integrate them. And then from that space, learn how to be more compassionate towards ourselves, other people, learn to hold the light of compassion for other people. In other words, the Heart Warrior is in essence a training in emotional self-mastery, learning how to remain centered and grounded and strong in what is becoming an increasingly more fast-paced, highly stressful world. Mary says she recommends the program very highly. Yes, and so Monica says, I recommend the program. It's life-changing. Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I'm saying that for me because every time I run it as a teacher, I learned this material at a deeper level, and it forces me to integrate it at an even deeper level. I believe in what A Course of Miracles says. You teach so that you can learn. And so you teach also what you need to learn the most, which is why I teach what I teach. I realized I had been so disconnected from my heart for so many years. for a very good reason. I was quite wounded and traumatized as a child growing up. It's one of the reasons why many of us lose our connection with our hearts. It's one of the things we explore during the training program. We look at how this trauma, this wounding takes place in our nervous system and how the nervous system responds. And then from that space, we can then see our own innocence. And we can actually see that whatever blocks we built around our blocks and whatever behaviors we started to use, addictions to compensate, were in many ways self-defense mechanisms. So that we would avoid feeling the pain, the discomfort, the trauma, and all of that. Okay, so it starts next week. I normally work with small groups, and that allows us to go quite deep, and there's still spaces available if you would like to join. If any of you are interested in joining the next cohort, you can visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com, and then visit the area, either the upcoming events section or where it says trainings, and then you can access the information about the program and then fill out an application. The application process now involves having a brief conversation with me where I get to make sure that this is the right program for you and then answer any questions that you may have. So that starts again next week, June 22nd. Also, I want to make now finally the official announcement. Okay. I am walking the Camino de Santiago this coming September, now that Europe is open for business again, and plan on taking a small group of 7 people with me. Okay, so those of you who have expressed interest in joining me on this first pilgrimage of the heart, which begins in Fatima, spending the weekend in Fatima, and then initiating the Camino journey from not from Porto, but from oh gosh, I can't believe I forgot the name already. The name will come to me in just a moment. It's just that when I've done the Camino, I normally begin at Porto, and we do the full Camino. But what I do when I'm doing this time, we're only walking the last 5 stages of the Camino, which basically means we'll be walking the last 120 kilometers, more or less, in order to get the credentials that says that you walk the Camino and you get the whole, certification. You need to walk at least the last 100 kilometers. So I forgot the name of the city right now, or it's actually the small town. But anyway, we'll be walking the Camino from that space, and we'll be walking the Portuguese Camino, not the Spanish one, doing what is called the Variante Espiritual, which has the beautiful way of the water and stone that in itself is like a walking meditation. It's like a 4-hour walking meditation down this river through stones and crossing rivers, and I've never seen anything more beautiful than that. So the dates for that will be from September 24th to October 4th. Okay, and just finalize the dates with my team here. We're going to be working with a local Camino agency here in Granada that specializes in this type of pilgrimages, and we'll basically have a van and a team for ourselves carrying the bags for anybody that would like to have their backpack carried from one stage to the next. And I will be posting more information about that over the next few days. Okay, I'm going to be now creating basically a page in my website that has more information with regards to the cost, what's included, and all of that. Okay, and again, it's only for a group of 7 people. We start in Fatima, and then we begin the Camino. We walk the last 5 stages, the last 120 kilometers. It will be from September 24th to October the 4th. So it really is. It is in essence 10 nights, 11 days, pretty much. All right. Let's move on into our main topic. Hello, Susan. Hello, Piul. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Piul Cassandra. Hello, animation person. You know who you are. Fedra. Hello. Hello, Lily. Those of you who are joining us just now. All right. So if you recall, we have been exploring these 10 virtues of the heart. And today is, or this week rather, we're going to be focusing on virtue number 10. Truth. Truth. Verdad. In both Portuguese and Spanish. But if you speak Brazilian Portuguese, then it's verdade. Verdad. Vero. Truth. Now, we could probably have a conversation about what is truth and what is not truth and go on for ages. In fact, most fighting in the world, most wars have been fought because perception of truth, right? This is what is normally referred to as relative truth. My truth versus your truth, right? And so if there is relative truth, which is what I think is my truth or what you believe is your truth, there must be then at another level something called universal truth or infinite truth, whatever you want to call it, or rather absolute truth. So I want to invite you then into this place where we can speak about the distinction between relative truth versus absolute truth. Relative truth, in essence, means the truth that you perceive through your particular positionality, from the place from which you're looking at things, from your perspective, right? If I were to take this clipboard that I have here, right? Let me show it to you for those of you who can actually watch this on the screen on your monitor. Okay, and so if I show you this face of this clipboard and I ask you, well, tell me the truth about this, what you see, and this is all I show you, you would probably just say, well, Gabriel, the truth is that this is brown and it's wooden. And then obviously from my perspective, I'd be like, no, that's not true. You're crazy. It's white. It's soft. And it's got letters in it. And you'd be like, no, 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 no. You're wrong. I'm right. It's brown and it's wooded. We can be here. We can actually then pull out our guns, shoot each other, and die in the name of truth. That's in essence how most wars are fought, and that's how most wars then end at the same time. Until somebody is smart enough to begin to see beyond their own perspective, beyond their own position, to see the bigger picture of what's actually going on, and look at a particular situation and then discover, oh, honey, from your perspective, if I was there and I saw things from that space, it would make sense what you're saying. So it makes perfect sense what you're feeling, what you are perceiving. So it's an important part of compassion and understanding. Another virtue that we spoke about is the ability to, in essence, to see be outside of your own perspective and to realize that there are other perspectives. In fact, there's over 8 billion people on the planet. There's over 8 billion perspectives, at least 8 billion different truths. And so no one person holds the truth. They just simply hold the positionality. And from their perspective, it is the truth, or at least it is what we perceive as our own truth. True conflict resolution that arises out of compassion and understanding is, in essence, being able to see the bigger picture. And we can only do that again once we step out of our own way and are willing to, in many ways, surrender or let go of our own position and be willing to look at a different perspective about a situation. And then from that space, when we can then open ourselves to a different truth. Yeah, exactly. Pule says to see with a single hard eye. Yeah, it's what in the Lakota, Sioux is referred to as Shante Ishta, right? Shante Ishta, the single eye of the heart versus the duality of the mind or the intellect. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Robert. The men are making their way in now, the masculine energy. Peter, welcome. All right, so that's relative truth. And we all have that, and it's also very valid, okay? Don't bypass spiritually by embracing a higher spiritual reality in order to avoid some uncomfortable relative truth. I mean, if you are doing something that is hurting another person and the other person looks at you and say, hey, you're standing on my toes and it really hurts. And then you look at them and you go, well, I don't see your toes. You must be wrong. I'm not stepping on your toes, you know. And ultimately, there's not such a thing as pain. There's only one of us here. That's spiritual truth. So you're avoiding then your responsibility to your fellow human being. All right. And you're using a higher truth. If you bring up a higher spiritual truth that says this world, physical world, is an illusion, is a Maya, and then you can tell another person, well, your pain that I'm causing, that I'm inflicting on you is an illusion. Or you may say something like, don't take things personally while you're stepping on somebody, hurting them. All right, so now we can speak now to what absolute truth is then. Absolute truth is a truth that always is, has been, and will continue to be. It never changes. It absolutely never changes. And more often than not, is rooted on universal spiritual truth. Universal spiritual truth. And again, is the truth that it always is, regardless of the position from which you're looking at, we can ultimately arrive at the same conclusion. An example of an absolute truth is you're worthy of love. You're worthy of love. You're lovable. Another example of an absolute truth is that right here and right now, despite of appearances, you are in essence whole, perfect, and complete, made in the image and likeness of the Creator. Nothing and no one can damage or take that away from you. Okay? Because that's who you are in essence. I teach this course, or I used to teach. It's now part of the Heart Leader Training Program, as well as just as a standalone course that you can purchase and download at the Heart Leaders Academy, a course on manifesting from the heart. And in there, one of the things I invite people to do is to create a vision for whatever it is that they want to create or manifest in their lives. And one of the powerful tools that course contains is a very specific framework to create a vision declaration statement that includes at the end what I called an ultimate truth statement. And here's what I mean by this. In the world of personal development and spiritual growth, you oftentimes hear a lot of people speak about beliefs. You have to change your beliefs. You have to embrace this belief. You have to change your belief. And there's a lot of focus on changing your beliefs. And though a lot of change can be realized by doing exactly that, I find that for the majority of us, because of some kind of a trauma or past experience, they're hidden beliefs, competing commitments. In other words, let's say you make a decision that you want to attract your ideal partner, lover, romantic mate, right? But because, let's say when you were younger, you were in an abusive relationship or somebody took advantage of you, right? And hurt you. At that moment, because of that trauma, you may have closed your heart You may have built up this wall of protection out of safety, obviously, out of the need to preserve yourself and to overcome the situation. And as a result of that, you may have developed this very deep unconscious belief that you can trust man, you can trust people. And so even though you want to welcome this relationship and you're saying affirmations like, my soulmate is here with me right now and we are enjoying being together and this is so beautiful, right? And even going through the motions and having the feelings, if you hold such belief underneath that, guess what's going to happen, all right? It's not going to happen. Or if it does happen, you're going to sabotage the relationship in order to avoid being hurt. It's one of the reasons why hypnosis, for example, can work really well. It helps you basically reprogram the unconscious mind and uncover a lot of these limited or hidden beliefs or competing commitments. And so I realized that when I started doing this work as a coach and when I was putting together the information for this course, I realized that if I wanted to work with a client at the level of the belief, instead of working with its specific beliefs, I would much rather work with an ultimate truth statement or absolute truth. Let me give you an example of that. So let's say, for example, you want to attract a mate into your life or a relationship that is harmonious and it's healthy and it's fun and it's loving and all of that. But because of the last relationship that you were in, right, you are you feel a sense of distrust towards the opposite sex or the same sex, or you believe that you're not lovable for whatever reason, or there's a lot of guilt and shame because of something happened to you and you feel you're unlovable. Then rather than trying to implant a new belief, what if instead you actually align with a higher absolute truth? For example, I am worthy of love. I am made out of love. Love is my divine right. Nothing and no one can keep me from experiencing true love. Right? You align with some kind of an ultimate truth that will trump your little belief that at any time when you're going around feeling, oh, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me, I will never find love, poor me. You're going through the emotions, and we all do that, right? You can in essence say, okay, my lower self, my human self, my wounded self has all of this, but all of these beliefs based on this past experiences. But what if we could align? What if I could align with this higher aspect of myself, my holy Christ self, my divine essence, my Buddha nature, my Atman presence, whatever name you have for that divine aspect within you. And then, in essence, climb up the proverbial ladder that acknowledges your humanity, yet is willing to declare, despite of how I'm feeling right now, I know that the ultimate truth is that nothing and no one can keep me from experiencing true love. Now, obviously, when we say this ultimate truth, true love is in essence exactly what that means. It may not necessarily be in the form of a partner or the type of relationship that you want. But what is true is that no one can keep you from having that experience. Right? Because ultimately, love comes from God, the Creator, who made us in its image and likeness. It's one of the reasons why when we work with truth today in our meditation, I'm going to be using one of the most powerful affirmations that you can use to align with your own truth at this level, spoken by Jesus. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Remembering that every time we're using the words I am, we are in essence saying the divine within me. the Christ in me, the awakened in me. Okay. So we're appealing, we're speaking from this higher perspective. That is the essence of the truth that we can ultimately then access through our hearts. That is the higher truth that the heart can see. There's only one. All right. Whereas when we are standing on our relative experience, we may be saying something to the effect of like, oh, I am good enough, or I'm not good enough, or my truth is that I feel like I'm good enough and you're not good enough. And there's this either I'm good enough, I'm not good enough. From the single eye of the heart perspective, from the Shantaista, from the sacred heart within you, where there's only one truth, the ultimate truth is that you are enough. There's not such a thing as you're good enough or you're not good enough. It's exactly the same thing what Rumi, the Persian poet, meant when he said, out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. It's the field of the heart. But there's only one truth that reigns supremely. And that truth, in essence, at its highest level, despite a human experience, that truth says and always sings, all is one and one is all. From that alignment, from that kind of alignment, we can transcend that little aspect of ourselves that feels unworthy, that has bought some other truth, probably given to you by the world, or a truth that you arrived at your own experience based on past circumstances. We can transcend that. We can transcend that. We can transcend that. This is what it means. In God, all things impossible. In God, in essence, means in God consciousness, all things are possible. In alignment with the truth that is God, because God is the truth. All things are possible. In other words, were we in line with a higher aspect within ourselves that sees the bigger picture, that knows the bigger truth of our lives, then miracles of healing, transformation can begin to take place in our lives. And that's the space that I'm inviting you to go into. So there is then relative truth, and it's valid, and it's important to acknowledge it. And when somebody expresses their truth, and my truth is that I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. My truth is that this work is not for me anymore. My truth is that whatever, what's real and true for me is that blah, blah, blah. It's important. And we're going to be speaking about this next week. And when we discuss the next virtue of the heart, honor, actually the last one, 2 weeks from now, it's important to honor other people's truth, other people's perspective, right? Yeah, I honor your truth. Well, I embrace, I acknowledge that you feel this way. I acknowledge that I acknowledge your truth. In fact, this is, this is what namaste, well, namaskar, as I learned the last time I used this word, in essence means, when you say the divine within me honors the divine within you. If the divine is the way, it is the truth, it is the life, then to say namaste is also say the truth inside of me honors the truth in you. And so even though we may hold two completely different perspectives, right, I can still honor your truth. I can still embrace my own truth and honor your truth at the same time. Pile says, thank you so much for this reminder. This I am. Yeah, beautiful. You're also a student of Rumi and divinity. Wonderful. Yeah. Iris says, EFT is wonderful of releasing blocks. Yes, it's true. It's very true. I actually woke up this morning doing a EFT and a combination of what I call heart tapping truth, because I myself woke up this morning feeling quite overwhelmed with a tremendous amount of shame. All these thoughts and feelings in my awareness of I'm not good enough, nobody cares about what I do, I'm not touching anybody's life, what am I bothering to do what I do, people don't care, I'm too old to do this thing, I wasted my life, I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that. I just sat in this space where I was just comparing myself to other people. Just entering into that space of what I can only describe as when I'm vibrating at the energy of shame. The energy of shame is it's very heavy whenever I'm sitting with it, and I feel it primarily quite deep in my lower chakras, and it's very debilitating. It keeps me from taking action, doing things, because it's almost like the sense of like, I'm not good enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not in shape enough. People are not going to like me. Why even bother try, that kind of thing? And so I gave myself permission to be with that feeling. It's something that I've learned to do through this, through the work that I do working with clients, and then also, some of the tools I teach during the Heart Warrior program. I've learned how to offer my heart to that part of myself when it comes up. I notice that if I run away from it, if I ignore it, it will end up rearing its ugly head, and then I will end up acting it out in some form of another, and do things actually that will create even more shame. Things, because from shame, only shame can come. That's how it is. From truth, only truth can come. So I when I was meditating, I imagine going down into like this room within my heart, and there as it was, a child hidden in the dark, feeling very much ashamed. And so I gave him the opportunity to speak and say everything that he had to say, and I just allowed him to express shame. And like Adrian Friedman's song, how does the song go? Samsara. It goes, welcome my shadow, I just came to say hello. You don't have to do anything, I just came to offer you my heart. That's how the song goes. And so that's what I did. I just said, you can just be yourself. I just came to check up on you, and I'm listening to you. So I just allow that aspect of myself to actually share his truth, bringing it to this topic of truth. I allow this child to speak his truth. And once I heard from him, he brought events that happened, my goodness, when I was 6-7 years old. And I felt like I did not belong with a group of kids in my neighborhood. And I felt like I didn't fit anywhere. And struggled really making friends. The friends I wanted to be friends did not want to be friends with me. And so I got to listen to him and be with his pain, be with his suffering, and offered him my heart. And then from that space, I reminded him of the truth. And this is where then the ultimate truth, alignment with his higher truth, can then become so incredibly powerful and healing. When you're holding that part of you that is wounded or feels ashamed or not good enough or unlovable for whatever reason, and you're able to hold that light for that part of you, let it be what it is without trying to change it. And then at the same time, hold a higher perspective and be able to remind yourself, yes, I understand and I can feel your pain, but here's what I know is true. You are a child of God, made in its image and likeness. And you're whole, perfect, lovable, and you are beautiful. Right? Like Libby Goldstein's son, how could anyone ever tell you you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you're less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Sung, written from a place of absolute truth, which is why then truth heals. Truth sets you free. Sets you free from that part of you that feels unlovable, unworthy. That part of you that is divided. So that's the space that truth invites you to come into, to remember what the world has forgotten, which is the main reason why we are where we are, and to remind you how deeply loved you are, how always you're connected to the soul, to the heart of God. right? And then nothing and no one can keep you from experiencing that love. Nothing and no one can keep you from experiencing what is divinely yours. So with that, let's go into our guided meditation on truth. The invitation now is to move into a sacred space of the heart, the unity of our hearts, the Shanta Ishta in the Lakota Sioux tradition. Placing a hand over the middle of the chest, or both hands if you want to. I oftentimes like to do both hands. As you gently now close your eyes and bring the awareness now into the body. Focusing the awareness now on your heartbeat, right there underneath your hand, and the breath, the circulating breath as you're breathing into your heart and the chest begins to naturally rise and fall. With each breath, you give yourself permission to relax into the present moment. Letting go of unnecessary tension around the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Relaxing the arms and the legs. Letting go of tension in the stomach, in the pelvic area, in the genital area. Surrendering to each breath, to every heartbeat, reminding you that right here and right now, you are. You are the life. Express. That's what it means to exist. Life expressed as you. As you continue to breathe in and out of your heart, allow me to speak the following prayer for and on your behalf. Dear God, our Heavenly Father and Universal Mother, in the name of the I Am Presence and the Holy Christ Self, of every person here in this live call and anyone who's listening to the replay, I connect, attune, and unify my heart to your heart. Let there be life, let there be truth, let there be love, let there be light in my heart, in perfect unity with thy heartbeat, thy source. In the name of Jesus the Christ, the beloved Son of God, Son of Man, our beloved brother, Savior, way shower, I call for an immediate expansion of God's truth within our hearts. May the truth that surpasses all rationality, all understanding, all logic now infuse our four lower bodies, our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls. That we may declare right here and right now, our body temples are the temples of the living Word of God that is the truth of all ages. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life. In Stain, in Weasel, in Sunjean, in Irish, in Cindy, in Pule, in Danny, in Susan, in Tony, in Shell, in Jennifer, in Monica, in Fedra, in Lily, in Isabel, in Ellen, in Mary, in Jennifer, in Peter, in Anne-Marie, in Amanda, and in everybody else who's here present or watching this replay. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life of God in me, in my heart, in my mind, in my body, in my soul, setting me free from the past, setting me free from the conditioning of my mind, setting me free from all emotional blocks, trauma, wounds, or anything else keeping me from realizing God's truth in my life. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life in my body, restoring the harmony of my physical functions, all bodily organs. God's truth being revealed in every cell and every atom, bringing healing. Healing any schisms or splits within the mind or the psyche. Allow my mind to be unified with the only one truth, one mind, which is the mind of God in me and in every person here today. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life. In my family and my friends, and my children, and my spouse, my partner, my clients, my students. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life, expanding all around me, opening new doors of possibilities and opportunities, creating miracles in our life. The more in alignment I am with the truth within my heart, which is God's truth, the more I am in alignment with life. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life in me. And all my loved ones, and every son and daughter of God upon this earth. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life that sets me free from all bondage, limitation, feelings of scarcity, and anything else keeping me from claiming my divine inheritance. I am a son of God. I am the daughter of God. I am made in the image and likeness of God. I stand upon this truth. I breathe this truth. I let this truth now govern every decision, every action of my life. I am that I am that I am, the way, the truth, and the life that I am. I am that I am. Each time I say I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, I am saying in essence, God in me is the way. God in me is the truth. God in me is the life. The divine within me is the way. The divine within me is the truth. The divine within me is the life. For the next few moments, use that as a personal, powerful mantra. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. If you speak Spanish, you can say yo soy el camino, la verdad y la vida. I am the way, the truth, and the life. God's truth flows in me. God's truth flows from me. God's truth returns to me. Heavenly Father and Divine Mother, in the name of your Son, Jesus the Christ, I ask that you remove all obstacles that keep us from seeing and recognizing the truth, the ultimate truth of who we really are as your sons and daughters. That we may surrender all of which is unreal about ourselves, all sense of lack, of limitation, all feelings of shame, any beliefs that we're not good enough, that we don't deserve love, happiness, joy, health, well-being. We place it all upon the altar of your sacred fire within your heart. The truth within thy fire, which is the holy lamb, may cleanse and purify our hearts, that only your truth and only your truth, only your way, only your life may shine supremely within our hearts, reminding us of the truth that every bird and every flower knows. All is one and one is all, and I am one. with the one, with the way, the truth, and the life of God in me. I am God's truth, active in every area of my life. I am truth, setting me free from attachments, addictions. I am God's truth, shining forth, liberating me from the past, setting me and my loved ones free, setting the entire world free from all of which is unreal and false. Let the light of truth, oh beloved Father, Mother, shine supremely within each and every one of us. That by expressing our truth, sharing our truth, we may inspire others to embrace their own truth. May our truth give others permission to embrace their truth, to live their truth in God. May the expression of our divine gifts and our life purpose give others permission to express their purpose, their divine gifts. May all our actions and our intentions be purified and come into great alignment with the ultimate truth within our hearts. For this I pray, for this I give thanks. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. Out beyond ideas of right or wrong, there's a field of truth, where there is a bigger truth that transcends us both, and that is always shining supremely inside each and every one of us. Time goes by so quickly, doesn't it? We come to the end of our time together, and so I hope that this guided meditation and fireside chat has reminded you that within your heart there's a greater power that you get to access anytime that you align to the bigger truth within your heart. Owning that truth, living that truth will allow you to live in greater alignment with who you really are. And then from that space, make a very powerful impact in not only in your life, but in the lives of the people around you. Just living your truth in alignment with this greater truth, with its universal spiritual principles and laws, which have been passed down to us by many teachers, gurus, masters who've pointed the way of the truth, the way of the life, can render miracles in your life. So many blessings to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Que voz me pone a dormir todas las noches en meditación. An Asian person is saying, your voice puts me to sleep every night in meditation. Yeah, I know. I've been told that. I used to, I used to take it as I used to hear that as an insult. Believe it or not, when I first heard people telling me that I put them to sleep, but now I recognize it actually as a compliment. You're very welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. Weasel says, thank you. It was perfect. Amanda says, thank you, Gabriel. God bless you always. Mary says, have a lovely rest of your week, Gabriel. Blessings to all. Be truthful. Yes, absolutely. Irish in Cyprus, but she's not really in Cyprus anymore. Irish, you need to change your name because you're not in Cyprus anymore. Thank you for holding the light that I may see. Lila says, blessings, Gabs, to you and to all. Biole says, where two or more gather in my name, there shall I be. Christo Sophia, absolutely, yes. That is also an ultimate truth to live by. This is why it's so important to hold sacred company, to surround yourself with people who are living from a place of truth. Right? We become stronger when we all stand together in the name of a higher truth. When we act together in the name of a higher truth. Jennifer says, thank you, Gabriel. Powerful and soothing balm of meditation. You're very welcome, Jennifer. God bless true water for the soul this morning, Gabriel. Thank you. You're very welcome. All right, my beautiful friends, wherever you are in the world, I wish you a fantastic rest of the week. Remember to stay in your heart, to continue to meditate on this deeper truth that live within the heart, that can bypass or transcend any limited perception that normally our personalities and our limited selves can hold on to sometimes. It is from this place that we're able to see the bigger picture of life. Hey, Danny, it's great to have you here. Great to see you here. Many blessings to you, love, as well. Many blessings to you all. Until the next time, which will be next week, when we'll be tackling Heart Virtue number 11, which will be, what is it be? Truth, harmony. One of my favorite. I think since we're going to be doing harmony, I'm probably going to bring my guitar next week and maybe play a song. How about that? Yeah, so we'll do next week number 11, which is harmony, and then the following week we'll do number 12, which is honor. Thank you, Isabel. Isabel says, blessings to all and much love. Thank you very much. Peter says, so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. Thank you, Gabriel, for bringing us together. Thank you, Peter. I love you too, brother. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you again next week. And until then, please receive my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you again for being here with me today.